With us tonight, Todd Webster, the Democratic strategist and former communications director for Tom Daschle, and John Feehery with us tonight, Republican strategist and president of Quinn Gillespie Communications. John, are you going to go out and buy a GM car since they're making money and all that taxpayer dollars help them get their head above water? Isn't this a victory, Feehery? Come on.
I think I'd actually rather buy a Ford because they didn't take the stimulus money and they actually have better products. But you know what? I'm really proud of GM. I'm proud of any American car company that make any money in this tough economy.
It is a tough economy, and they're making money, and they wouldn't be at work, Todd Webster, had it not been for President Obama and his team. Correct?
Well, no question. I think this is one of the big achievements of the first couple of years of this administration. That Steve Rattner, they drew a hard bargain with Detroit, but as we now see, they're making money. We preserved an industrial manufacturing base in this country. We preserved over 1 million jobs, and they're making better cars. That's the bottom line.
All right, Darrell Issa. This is the comment he made on Good Morning America, ripping on President Obama when he was talking about possible investigations coming up. Here it is.
His administration received $700 billion worth of walking around money in the stimulus and used it just that way. A great deal of it is used for political payback. His administration has a lot of explaining where the $700 billion went, where investigations that should have gone on, particularly into Acorn, an organization that he had past influence with and should be willing to do a lot to end. I think those have to be dealt with.
That's a hell of a statement. That's an accusation that there was political payback in his administration. He's got a lot of explaining to do. Congressman Dennis Kucinich responded on my radio show to that comment.
Mr. Issa needs to be cautious about making statements that are inflammatory. Walking around money, by the way, that phrase relates to a practice that is now illegal of cash going into the pockets of political campaigners that is off the books, okay? It's called walking around money. Now, he may not be familiar with that, or if he is using that advisedly, that's a pretty serious charge.
And Congressman Kucinich on that Government Oversight Committee sent a stern letter to Issa today, basically telling him to watch his P's and Q's on this and give us the detail of what you have. I mean, it's almost as if he's made up his mind, but accusing them of political payback. Todd Webster, how do you call it?
Well, I think first of all, it's preposterous. Look, the stimulus money was broken into 3 pots. One was tax cuts, right? And every working American got a $400 tax cut last April. The second was aid to the states. And the third pot was for roads and infrastructure and building and putting people back to work. Now, you can track where every nickel of stimulus spending is being spent by going to recovery.gov. The administration has put up that website, and if you prefer a private sector approach, there's a company out of Seattle that's put up recovery.com, which is also tracking government spending. So this is a bunch of inflammatory stuff to talk about Acorn and get the right wing whipped up, but he knows better than that, and I know he's been to these websites. He knows that they exist.
Well, he wants 300 investigations or hearings in all of this. John Feehery, is Mr. Issa, is he on a witch hunt? That's what Jan Schakowsky said on this program last night.
And I really like Darrell Issa. I think he's going to be a very capable chairman. I think the fact of the matter is that the stimulus bill has not worked. Jobs have not come back to the extent that we'd hoped they would. And I do think that there needs to be an investigation where all the money went. I don't think it's sufficient at these websites. I think if you look at these recovery.gov, there are a lot of allegations of money going to places that they shouldn't have gone. I really honestly believe that the taxpayer is better off if we have these investigations to find out why this program did not work, but John, why people have not gone back to work. They have not worked, and
John,
we need to have a better program to make.
If you follow the money, you're going to find Republican governors who didn't do what they were supposed to do with the stimulus money. But
and
to go so far on accusations and say, well, it's walking around money, it's political payback, that's a hell of an accusation. Where's the proof? Where's the proof?
You're going to see the money.
Well, I think that's what the investigation is all about. Let's find out. Let's find out who's right. Let's find out if there was walking around
money. So you're
money.
okay with Issa's comments?
Of course I am. I think we need to get to the bottom of where all this money went. And it's not just on this thing that Darrell Issa is going to be investigating. He's going to be investigating food safety, for example. He's going to be a very good, very capable chairman, and I think he's going to do a good job.
Todd, your final comment.
Well, I mean, it's crazy. You can log on, you can see where every nickel's being spent. It's being spent in Darrell Issa's district and in John Boehner's district and all 435 districts around the country. It's all there to see. But I think these scavenger hunts and these witch hunts that Darrell Issa's second-in-command, Dan Burton, waged throughout the 90s, investigating the Clinton travel office and the Clinton Christmas card list, is going to have repercussions because voters are going to say that this is crazy. You're wasting taxpayer money. You're wasting a lot of time, and there'll be a repercussion for it.
I think that these investigations are going to be very fruitful for taxpayers. I think we'll learn a lot. I really do.
He wants 300 hearings, but he's really not after President Obama. Gentlemen, good to have you with us tonight. Appreciate your time.
Thanks,
Coming up.